How do you define software requirements? The first step in doing a fixed price software development project is defining the requirements of your project. Usually this happens in a discovery phase where we get to know things like the scope of your project and defining the requirements. At Jamea, we've done dozens of discovery phase workshops with customers, but also new companies looking to do software development projects on fixed price proposals. A quick recap. What are the software requirements? Simply put, software requirements are the specifications of what a software solution should do, how it should behave, and what business cases it should satisfy. They're essential for communicating the expectations and needs of the stakeholders, as well as for guiding the design, development, and testing of the software. But defining software requirements is not a simple task, as usually it involves challenges and trade-offs. In this presentation, I will discuss some of the key aspects and best practices we perform for defining software requirements in a software development project. Firstly, we need to understand the problem. This is a crucial first step. If we are able to help solve the problem, we must understand the problem that the software is intended to solve. This means identifying goals, objectives, but also things like scope, as well as context, domain, and your assumptions. You should also analyze the needs, expectations, and preferences of the users and other stakeholders and determine how they will interact with the software. In our experience, domain expertise is critical to understanding problems. Unfortunately, in our industry, we also see that much information is lost in the translation between the two domains of user and programmer. In that case, the best solution is to have developers who know the domain or product managers and developers immersed in the user workflow. This domain expertise is something we like to strongly focus on when guiding our customers through the discovery phase. Secondly, defining the solution to the problem. Once we have a clearer understanding of your problem, the next step is to define the solution. This means specifying things like features and functionalities, but also the behavior that the software is expected to offer. Um, Looking at things like quality attributes such as performance, reliability, security, or usability that the software will meet are also aspects that we strongly focus on. Here, you as a customer should also define your particular constraints. These are things like budget, time, resources, or standards that the software should adhere to. These are important as they allow us to understand your possibilities, but also your limitations, and allow us to problem solve and think through your software project in your established boundaries. You can use various techniques such as use cases, scenarios, user stories, or even prototypes to describe and illustrate the solution. A third step is to document everything that you have defined. This sounds very straightforward, but is a very, very crucial part of the discovery phase. It means writing down all the requirements in a formal way, depending on your project's methodology and standards. You should also organize the requirements into categories such as functional, non-functional, or business requirements, and assign priorities, dependencies, and risks to them. You can use various tools, things like text documents, spreadsheets, diagrams. There are even software tools that are available. But I will include in the links to this video our own guide to software project management, which includes an in-depth look at how we recommend you document your requirements. If I can offer you one recommendation here, I would say it is to get your entire team involved in the documentation process, not just developers, to ensure a shared understanding of the system and processes and encourage contributions to keep the documentation up to date. It's a good practice to have a dedicated person responsible for ensuring its accuracy and keeping it up to date throughout the entire software development journey. Good documentation should be viewed as an integral part of the development process, not just a key piece at the start of your project. Fourth, I would say validate your requirements that you have documented. So to ensure that they're correct, they align with your project goals and your stakeholder needs. This means reviewing, verifying, and testing the requirements with the involvement of the stakeholders, developers, testers, etc. As well. You should also identify and resolve any conflicts, ambiguities, inconsistencies in the requirements. Validating software requirements really is vital to ensure that they align with user needs and your project's goals. Techniques like inspections, walkthroughs, but even prototyping help in early error detection, reducing rework. And this last point really is vital, especially when working with a fixed price contract. Manage the requirements. The final step is to manage the requirements through the software development lifecycle to cope with any changes, issues, or feedback that may arise. This means controlling, tracking, and communicating the requirements as well as their status and progress to your project. You should also ensure that the requirements are traceable, verifiable, but also measurable, and that they are aligned with design, development, testing, deployment of your software throughout the entire software project. You can use various tools. There are software tools, version control, change management systems that are available. But to make your life easier, Yameo has prepared a guide to software project management, which includes information on how to best manage your requirements. I'll provide a link to this guide in the video description or comments. So what else is there to consider? Well, an additional consideration we always involve is user experience and the user interface, UX, UI. Our thinking is that at the heart of every solution are its users. We therefore place a lot of importance on developing innovative, seamless, but also very delightful user experiences. Because if your users like and accept your new solution, the chances of success grow exponentially. Second is scalability. As businesses grow, so do their software needs. And so our focus is to build solutions with a foresight for growth, especially for organizations that would like to start off with, for example, an MVP, or maybe a solution that is focused on a particular use case, particular department, but eventually can grow and can scale, company-wide. So we really try and ensure that scalability is never an afterthought after deployment. Security is another aspect we focus on. In this area where there are so many cyber threats, security is not an optional choice anymore. And so every product or solution that we build undergoes extensive security checks, ensuring that data integrity and user trust is always maintained. And finally, feedback loops. Continuous improvement is something that we strive for. So we also establish and implement feedback mechanisms during and also after development of your software project, ensuring that the solution develops based on user feedback, but also your particular requirements. So this was a sneak peek, I would say, into how we help customers define the requirements for their software projects. I hope it gives you a better understanding of how Yameo can help you. If you would like to learn more, I would recommend downloading our guide to software project management, of which I will leave the link in the description, or contact us. We have a great team of people who are always eager to hear what your challenges and software ideas are. So remember, if fixed price software project sounds interesting for you, reach out to Yameo and benefit from years of experience in helping customers define software project requirements. Thank you.